SLTC students have now had several weeks of training and are building confidence by the day. Tonight, however, they must repair power lines mangled by the skilled hands of their very own instructors, simulating a true emergency power restoration.
Kind of relief that things are funneling down to graduation. The weight of not training hanging over our heads with the forecast of rain coming. I think we're all just kind of anticipating whether or not we're going to have enough rest and changing the schedules from getting up in the mornings to getting up in the evening. And it's going to be a transition to prepare us for our careers. Wednesday, before night training, Nelson gave us that old familiar smirk of what we knew to be his thoughts of what he was going to do to demolish our lines for night training. So that left a bad taste in all of our mouths.
I think they've kind of talked it up a little bit. They was wanting to know what we were going to do all day, and we wouldn't tell them. So most of them will drive by this evening or something, or just to kind of get an idea.
While the public seeks shelter during severe storms, linemen must be ready on a moment's notice to make repairs to damaged electrical lines and infrastructure.
Yeah, if you ain't careful, those make a widow out of your wife there. I like to plan this stuff out, make them think a little bit instead of just cutting wire. Kind of twist it up, kind of put some wire in a bind. Well, they've actually got to work a little bit instead of just sleeving it and throwing it up. Try to make them think a little bit. This is to prove, they have been paying attention, and this kind of gives us a better light on the students as an instructor, if they really have paid attention.
It's that attention during training that will keep our students safe as they become first responders in disaster situations.
Try to map it out how I want to do it, because you can just go down there cutting wire, and just because you've cut the wire 100 times doesn't really matter. It's where you cut it at. They have to take everything they've learned throughout the weeks and put it together in night class, because they're on their own in night class. They have to learn how to utilize their manpower, their equipment. They have to be able to know how to schedule their time. We've got 20-something guys down here, and we're all working towards the same goal. So during those weeks, they have to learn how to delegate the proper way and put all that stuff together so we accomplish that goal at a certain amount of time. So that's one of the most important things is communication. You got to have communication.
I think when they see it all, they'll be a little surprised, a little bit, take them a while to figure out what they're gonna do. They haven't seen this before. Before it's been all new construction, basically. Now they've got to put back up what they built. So they're gonna be surprised.
The instructors are finished destroying the students' field lines and head home for a few hours of rest. It will be a long night of repairs with the students.
You ain't got a damn clue of what you're fixing to get into. Don't go out there and put your hands on the damn wire and all that. You go through your process like this is the real deal. I want you to have fun, treat it like it's real, because at 3 weeks, we're kicking y'all's ass out of the nest. And those people are going to expect you to know what's going on, especially coming through Southeast Lineman Training Center. This is y'all's test. This is what helps us give you your final evaluation.
When we first saw it, it was kind of mind-boggling as to where to start, because it was just a tangled mess, and we were simulating that everything was hot.
Wires are up in the trees, cross arms are cut with jumpers hanging on them, wires are wrapped together on adjacent lines so that they have to think through what they have to do to get the wires put back together. It's going to take a lot of communication. It's going to be communication with the other crew that's going to be next to them because some of the lines are intertwined. So they're going to have to talk to them, just as realistic as it would be if there was more than one crew out in the field working during storm trouble, say a hurricane or a tornado came through.
I was excited. I was kind of just ready to see how it was going to be like and like get the actual experience of, you know, like a real life situation that we might actually encounter one day.
Anything out of the norm that you think could injure somebody, that's the first thing we take care of. Game plan, obviously, we got to have a game plan, all right? But the first thing we do is take care of all the hazards.
First seeing all of what Josh had did, I was actually kind of relieved because he didn't cut no poles. We didn't have to reset anything. And from what I could tell, it was not too bad.
When we actually got like up close and personal to like the work area and like what we actually had to do, we'd kind of like find something on top of something else that was wrong. So you really kind of had to look and make sure everything was in place.
You have 10 minutes to walk this out and look at it.
You know, I was expecting trees and stuff, all kind of things from what I've seen before or heard, but it wasn't too bad.
Audie, you are the man. All right. We go through, we tear these lines up. They really don't know how we're going to tear them up. They know we're going to tear them up, but they don't know how or what to expect when they get there. It's up to them to put it together because we just back of the way. In case, you know, there's an issue somewhere for safety, then we'll step in. Of course, they'll have hiccups, some of that during night training. But when we just back out of the way, we let them have it. And hopefully they remember all their training, they'll get it done right and they get it done safe.
PC8 communication, we've made it a vital part of our teamwork, and that's something that Nelson has driven into us. He let us learn the hard way when we got the blueprints out in the field. I believe we all got quite a few hours on our gaffs on the poles just waiting on materials to get corrected because we didn't thoroughly plan it out from the ground before we even got up. So when your legs are going numb, they're tingling, it kind of, you know, scars you. So that's what helped us bring the communication skills into the night training.
Some of the pole circles are faring better than others. Michael and PC8 are working like a well-oiled machine thanks to their communication.
I believe that's one thing that made night training go as smoothly as it did was just all the past experiences. And we brought it to the table that night and made it happen. So.
But things are not going so great for Pole Circle 5, and frustrations are mounting.
That was actually kind of like, okay, this is what you might do in the actual field, you know. Well, you're gonna do it all, but you know, this could be like a storm type of night, you know. And it was actually raining, yeah, so it was kind of like the real deal. It was different because you couldn't really see everything around you, you know. You just saw what was in front of you. Josh, he kind of just, you know, gave us full power of what to do, and he said, you know, this is your show, so run it. He assigned us a foreman, and we looked at what needed to be done and who was best fit to, you know, take on that pole.
A capable foreman is vital to the success of a lineman crew, but PC5 is struggling to make progress under their assigned
Who
Uh,
leader.
ain't got a job, Garrett? Devin, don't forget, look, we've got to have guys on the ground.
I know.
Do you even know where you're going to drop the wire out?
Huh?
You know where we're going to drop the wire out?
We're dropping all the wires out?
Oh, not where it needs to be.
It just needs to be dropped out right there and
All right, this is your show. I'm letting you have it. So you the man. We're have it. Take it.
I ain't got no line. I need that spot.
Instructions were given to us by our foreman, and it kind of went from there. You know, you're a big team, so you know you got to be a role player. Communication is really important, and I think your foreman doesn't communicate to you in the proper manner. You know, like, the communication get lost, and you know, I think everybody has to be on the same page for things to run smoothly.
All right.
Anyone go do it?
They need to figure out where they're going to sag at. They've got this pole and the dead end poles, you know, 6 poles down.
You gotta re-sag it. Hey, no, hell no. Get all that up, man.
Where are you sagging at?
Right here.
All right, then don't put the wire in the dead end shoe.
They can send it all up and then start sagging it and just loosen the dead end shoe up there and pull it back through.
That's wasted work. Don't do that. Don't have them put the wire in the dead end. Look, if you're going to sag down there,
What are you sagging down there? Sagging right
you're
here.
sagging right here.
Yeah.
All right, you need to frame this pole out, get the wire on the ground ready to go up.
Okay.
Don't put it in the dead end sheet.
And so, you know, tension builds up, you know, and, you know, people think that, you know, it should be done in a certain way versus this way.
Sagging, just loosen the dead end
I know what you're saying.
Pull it through and then just tighten the dead end shoe
They
back up
didn't
and
put
it'll
them
be
all,
all
they were
right.
already on it up from up there. Not that it really matters.
Don't
but-
do it like that.
Okay, simple as that. Good.
All right. Hang it there. Do what you want to do here.
already hung.
All right, well, good. Then you're ready to sag right here.
Are you ready? No. Hey, he ain't ready. He ain't got an insulator or anything up there.
The wire's not going to sag. Your shoes are tight.
What's Sam saying? Sam, you got the gas on. Come on.
Hunter's really demanding. And he thinks of it's my way or my way. That's how he thinks. That makes him, I guess, good for the job.
Sam, take it off. David, you going up. Sorry, buddy. He got to climb through. Yeah, that's my up. I'm sorry.
Nobody knows everything. And you can't exactly see what's going on in the dark. I'm sure at some places he was talking to be talking.
Hurry up!
As Pole Circle 5 struggles to find their feet, Pole Circle 11 must deal with a severely dangerous scenario: a completely severed crossarm assembly. Over on SLTC's Extension campus, Pole Circle 11's situation is looking more complicated by the minute. Frank and his team have realized they will only be able to repair this severed crossarm with the help of the big trucks.
Got everything you need? Set chain, tamp, shovels. There's the key to the bucket. Y'all ease on down there to the broke pole. I'll be down there to walk y'all through how to get this set up. They're changing a broke pole. The top is broke out of it. Kind of a touchy situation. I've helped them get the truck set up, get the trucks going level, walk through a plan. Now I'm going to step back and see if they paid attention to detail, if they can work this thing safe. If anything comes up, I'll step in, correct them on it, and we'll continue on with the process. Yeah, when you take it off, that arm's going to want to swing. It's going to want to tilt. You've got enough chain, wrap it around the pole like you were going to set it. There you go. And let him winch up on it, and it'll come up nice and even. Now keep in mind, when you're in a situation like this, you go nice and slow. You want to make sure that pole, top of that pole don't take off with you. They actually winched up on that cable a little bit because that last wire had a lot of tension on it. They were actually paying attention, and they done a good job on that part. They let him winch up, take some pressure off this last conductor because it had a lot of pressure. They're using their heads now a little bit. It's good to see.
Things are not getting any easier for Robert Self over in PC5.
Take them on. Hurry up.
Josh had wanted me to get in the bucket truck and help hang a double cross arm. I told him I'd never been in a bucket truck. He just kind of said all hell and kind of threw me in there and then ran through all the controls.
Right here, your upper boom, you go up, straight up. Down, straight down. Go.
Be smooth with it.
This is ridiculous. Holy.
Hey, watch it now.
I'm a pretty good operator when it comes to things like that, which I think I did pretty good. It was pretty smooth.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! All right, you're good. That's as low as you can get, buddy.
All right.
I'm gonna need you to tighten that up.
I got you. But as far as going up there and actually doing work, Josh wanted me to go up there and do whatever I could on the double cross arm. But about all I had to do was just tie in one shoe.
Started! Like that!
Yeah. What the do you think I'm doing? Oh, damn.
Need some one ball! Yeah! Ain't gonna take this long, I promise.
Communication was a problem, I guess, and it just got aggravating. Hey, who ain't doing something?
You?
Oh my. Ha 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 ha!
Get them jumpers made up!
Give me some damn tie wire.
Well, tell us!
That, hey! Oh, that mother. Mother. I hate that. What? This some is on my nerves. Yeah, he can't really see what's going on up there, and that added on to all the frustration.
Across the campus, Pole Circle 11 has nearly completed their training, but to finish, they must hang a transformer in a rather tight situation.
Wherever they called me to go, I was doing, so I was just running around here and there. Put up a transformer, string lines, pretty much. Got to climb, got to be on the ground. It's funny, it didn't rain until I got on a pole, and I had no rain gear on. And a good old Cody wouldn't send up my jacket.
Pop, you need to strip that old neutral rack out of your way, do it. Make your space to work. We have the Argo 8x8, got a front-mounted Warren winch. We was able to come in a small, tight area and do it. We was able to use the winch to actually install a transformer on a pole and replace it. It worked out very handy, it's very nice. It ain't nothing that I had whenever I was coming up through the ranks of line work. Industry's changed a lot. It was pretty sweet how it pulled it up there with no issue. It'd be nice, especially in the backyard. If you get the thing in the backyard in a small area like we're at right now, it'd pull it right up. We didn't have stuff like that whenever I was coming, but that's how far this industry's come. They're getting machines specifically designed to do line work. We actually have another design coming just for line work. They done good tonight. I mean, they done better than what I thought they would have done. We're way ahead of schedule.
Back at Pole Circle 5, the communication is still rough, but the crew is learning important lessons.
They were trying to take a shortcut. They thought that if they went ahead and put the wire in the dead-end shoe and sent it up, that they were going to cut a couple steps out, and that wasn't the case. They'd actually be adding steps. And that's good that they do that. They try to think of things like that, but, you know, they have to think about, 5, 6 steps down the road instead of right now.
That night, I learned never to take shortcuts. Shortcuts can lead to, disasters.
When you get to storm work and, there's a lot of rigging involved, strategy, especially when you got 20 guys, you got to delegate manpower and use it the right way. And that's been the biggest issue, and, you can't really expect them to know everything, but they're doing a pretty damn good job of doing that.
Yeah. When you get done with that, come on down. Maybe he's gonna do the other two.
The storm came through and tangled all our wires up and cut them. So we had to re-sag them. So that's what I'm gonna go do. It felt like an actual storm, with it raining and all that. Seeing the campus all light up like that, you looked around and everybody had a light on their helmet. So looking around, it looked really, really cool. I gotta transfer up, Luke, and get the hand line. You ready to get the power back on? When I see storms coming through now, I think about the linemen making, you know, a lot of overtime. I think, you know, one day that's gonna be me. Got it.
Guys, y'all did a hell of a job. You guys well exceeded what I thought was going to be done. So hats off to you. Y'all did really good.
I guess it's the first time he's ever said that.
You guys got a game plan. Y'all stuck to it. But don't get me wrong. You got a lot to learn. You guys don't know yet. I think every one of you's got a promising career ahead of you. But you got to, you know, put your heart into it. And I'm telling you, there's not a better feeling in the world to know that you can take care of yourself and your family. And I think everybody here has got the ability to do it. And I'm proud of every one of you. That's all I got to say. What do y'all got to say?
I thought you were gonna cry right there for me. I thought you were gonna cry.
Right now. 5 on 3, ready? 1, 2, 3, fast 5! Woo! Good job, guys. Turn up.